weekdays at noon.
Your eyewitness weather forecast.
And good evening, everybody. Let's talk about what to expect as we go down the road here, because we have another powerful storm system on the way. This one's not going to be so much snow, more importantly, wind. Now, there's going to be some snow associated with this. We'll get to that part of it in a minute. So 27 now, but the winds are calm. That's going to be changing, though, as we go, especially into the day tomorrow. So it's this large storm system that arrives in the afternoon with a burst of wet snow, and then it quickly changes to rain. On the front half of this guy, there might be a slushy coating to an inch or two, but that's going to melt as the temperatures will continue to go up through the day tomorrow and even into the evening and tomorrow night. We're more concerned about strong, damaging wind gusts developing late in the afternoon, right through, say, midnight tomorrow. So let's just have the generators prepared, batteries for the flashlight, because I do think this type of wind and this magnitude of wind will mean some scattered power outages. We'll start off here with a look at temperatures now in the upper 20s at Griffiths and Rome. Down to Utica, it's 30, 32 in Little Falls. And then down to the south, numbers here are in the low 30s, and up north, numbers in the mid-20s, 23 at last check in Old Forge. All right, a slew of weather alerts. High wind warnings, much of the Mohawk Valley. Wind advisories and a flood watch to the south, because we're going to get some rain. And keep in mind, down here, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches of snow on the ground. You throw some rain on top of that, there could be some flooding issues, but let's hone in on the wind potential. So through the day tomorrow, in the morning, fairly light. I mean, you'll notice it, but 5 to 15 mile per hour sustained winds. We get into the afternoon, the wind starts to increase. So 15 to 30 mile per hour sustained, which means it's constant, with gusts to 45. Then we get into the evening. That's when wind speeds will be 20 to 40 miles an hour, with gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour. That's damaging. So here's a look at what's going on this evening. Quiet here locally, but there's the storm system really cranking up in mid-country. Blizzard warnings out for parts of the Plain States. Winter storm warnings as well. So we're going to get a little period of snow. Watch as we go into the day tomorrow. It's quiet to start. It will start to turn a little breezy. You'll notice that. And there's that burst of wet snow developing here as we get into the afternoon. 1, 2 o'clock, a little burst of wet snow. This could be good enough for a slushy inch or two. And then did you see how it just changes over to rain? All the while, winds are howling out of the south and east, which is kind of a weird direction. So this is not necessarily a slam dunk forecast, because usually strong wind gusts occur from the west. But at this storm, it's more of a southeasterly wind. So watch as we go. You'll notice the wind speeds increase through the day. Here we are, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That is a wind gust of 54 miles an hour. So again, this would be concern for some damage. Power lines, trees could come down. Again, with that southeasterly wind, really kind of cranking up into the evening, and it will last right through about midnight. Also, the rain as well. This is pretty manageable, but notice some areas will have some higher amounts, and where we have a snowpack, that could lead to some localized flooding. So jam-packed, 24 hours worth of weather. Tonight, it's calm, mostly cloudy, 24. And then through the day tomorrow, a burst of wet snow developing in the afternoon, then it quickly goes to rain. The winds are really going to start to crank. So by evening, we're going to have 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts right through the evening. Temperatures continue to go up into Wednesday, with rain tapering to some wet flakes, and it's still going to be gusty into Thursday with some scattered snow showers before another system Friday night into Saturday. Also very windy, again, with mix to snow, and then much colder by Sunday into Monday.
Wow, that wind, that's going to be crazy. 50 to 60?
Yeah, 60 mile per hour gusts not out of the question, so that is enough to cause some damage.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Craig. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 6.
Cast.
Welcome back to Eyewitness News, first at 10. Let's get you up to date with the forecast. We have a lot to discuss. First things first tonight, it's quiet. It's just cloudy. Temperatures tonight will drop into the 20s. Winds, which are light now, it is going to be a completely different story this time tomorrow night. So here's what to expect. A large storm system churning through mid-country right now slams into us tomorrow. And it's going to start with a little burst of snow on the front side of this. This is not going to add up much, and it's going to change to rain. And by this time tomorrow night, it's probably raining here in the Mohawk Valley in central New York. Strong, damaging wind gusts will be developing as we go into late tomorrow through the first half of tomorrow night. So, you know, this type of wind can cause power outages and down tree limbs and that sort of thing. So if you have a generator, just make sure you have gas and that's prepped and ready to go, and flashlights, batteries for said flashlights, because I do anticipate at least some scattered power outages as we go into this time tomorrow night. Numbers tonight are in the 20s to near 30. As we look downtown, 30 degrees right now. In the low 30s in Hartwick, upper 20s, Richfield Springs, and up north temperatures in the low 20s. A plethora of wind alerts that are posted here across the Mohawk Valley. High wind warning in effect. I should also mention there's a wind advisory to the south, as well as a flood watch into Otsego County, speaking to the fact that when this changes over to rain, which it will, we could pick up upwards of an inch of rain. Well, down here, you know, you got a fresh snowpack, so that kind of complicates and compounds matters as well, so we'll watch for some minor flooding. Let's break down the winds, because I think that's going to be the hallmark of this storm system. So out the door Tuesday morning, they will be noticeable, but 5 to 15, you know, we see that regularly. So it's nothing like out of the ordinary. Once we get into the afternoon, those wind speeds increase 15 to 30 miles an hour sustained, which means that is a constant wind. We will have gusts to 45 miles an hour, and then the height of this storm will be tomorrow, the first half of tomorrow night. That is when we could have damaging wind gusts of at least 50 to 55 miles an hour. There's an outside chance that some of the highest elevations will gust to 60 miles an hour. So a lot of wind energy, and we'll profile this with some of the computer models. Now, when you look at this, this is not a forecast per se. This is just kind of suggesting what the winds could be. So don't focus so much on the number. Just know that as we get into the evening, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds will become likely. Not much going on out there tonight. Big time storm though, churning mid-country. There's the snow on the backside of it. Blizzard warnings in mid-country. You got severe weather breaking out ahead of it. So this is a powerhouse, and it will be arriving here as we head into tomorrow. So watch as we go. There we are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2, 3, 4 o'clock, there's going to be a burst of wet snow. In terms of accumulation, this will be fairly minor. And notice, by the time we get to 11 o'clock, it's just rain. But at that point, the winds are going to be howling. And I think they will be continuing to be gusty right through the overnight before slowly subsiding and backing off the pedal a little bit through the day on Wednesday. And then we'll start to see some colder air come in, so any leftover rain showers will change over to some wet snow showers. Now, in terms of snow accumulation, like I said, this is very minor. So on the front end of this guy, it's a slushy coating to an inch and then melting. Up north, though, the high peaks of the Adirondacks, that's where we could add up to 6 inches of snow, but that's way up north, not for here. Eyewitness weather forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, turns a little breezy late, 24, and then through the day tomorrow, we'll have that little burst of wet snow developing in the afternoon. The winds will really start to crank up. Temperatures, if anything, will rise tomorrow night, and then go the other way on Wednesday as rain changes to snow. Still gusty, not quite as windy. And then we're watching yet another storm system late Friday into Saturday, which could mean some more snowy weather, and then much colder weather follows that one. It's busy in the weather department. What about sports, Brennan?
Well, I'll tell you, Craig, it was a busy night tonight. Actually,
Now, your Eyewitness Weather forecast.
Welcome back. It is the proverbial calm before the storm as we go into the day. Tomorrow, the winds will pick up. We have a little bit of wintry weather to get through as well. But, you know, in terms of snow, this isn't going to be a big deal. We take a look downtown now where the temperature is 30 degrees, a light wind. That will be changing as the wind speeds will really ramp up into the day. Tomorrow's this large storm system currently over mid-country works its way east. And that will bring in a burst of snow by early to mid-afternoon, but more so concerned with strong damaging wind gusts developing into the evening. And the type and the magnitude of the wind will potentially mean some isolated power outages, some tree limbs coming down. So if you're fortunate enough to have a generator, make sure that's gassed up and ready to go. Some extra batteries for flashlights if you do happen to lose power as we go into this time tomorrow night. All right, so numbers out there tonight are hanging upper 20s to right around 30. It's not too bad. Pretty quiet night. 29 Hartwick, 30 Cooperstown, and 21 at Old Forge. All right, so let's break down what we have going on in terms of the advisories, the watches and warnings. South, it is a flood watch and a wind advisory, rather. That's for Otsego County. Here locally, it's a high wind warning, speaking to the fact that we are going to have strong gusts developing into the evening. So here's kind of a snapshot and a breakdown of when the strongest winds arrive. So out the door tomorrow morning, you know, fairly manageable. That's nothing out of the ordinary. East-southeasterly winds sustained 5 to 15. We see that wind start to increase into the afternoon with gusts to 45, and by the evening, we could have gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour. I want to show you some information regarding the potential wind gusts. And I don't want you to focus so much on the number, but just know that tomorrow in the evening, we could see gusts in excess of 50, 55, maybe even 60 miles an hour. The other thing I want to point out, notice it's a southeasterly wind, which is a little unusual because our trees and the root structure is used to a strong westerly wind. Well, because the wind is coming in from the southeast, some of the more susceptible trees might topple over. So just another facet of the storm we're watching. It's quiet out there now, but not far away. Look at the snow breaking out in mid-country, blizzard warnings down through the plain states, a rash of severe weather down in the deep south. We're going to get in a little burst of wet snow here by tomorrow afternoon. There it is. But watch as we go through the afternoon. This will all change to rain. So by this time tomorrow night, we're talking mainly rain, and all the while, the winds are really starting to crank tomorrow afternoon into the first part of tomorrow night is when we could see those gusts in excess of 50 to 60 miles an hour. Then we see the strongest winds pull away, and it will turn colder through the day on Wednesday, with any leftover rain showers going to wet snow showers, but little, if any, accumulation. In terms of the snow tomorrow, this is not much, unless you are way up north in the high peaks where you'll never hear my voice. But here locally, it's a slushy, sloppy, kind of greasy coating to an inch and then melting as we start to warm and we start to bring in those strong winds. You know, first 1,000 feet of the atmosphere, the winds are going to be trucking, and some of that energy will transfer down to the surface. So get low tomorrow evening at this time. Mostly cloudy tonight, quiet. 24. Tomorrow, we start out cloudy, winds pick up, a burst of wet snow into the afternoon, changing to rain again, slushy coating to an inch. That's it. Then it's raining. But it's windy. Tomorrow night into Wednesday, the wind speeds will slowly start to ease Wednesday. 45 is in the morning, temperatures turning colder, some scattered flakes and still brisky and breezy Thursday, colder 36, and then another storm system Friday night to Saturday. Another round of wet snow or wintry mix, very windy again, and then much colder by the time we get to Sunday into the MLK holiday. Lake snows, temperatures in the 20s. There's winter.
There it is. Craig's happy.
Yeah, but seriously, tomorrow night could be problematic. I mean, these could be damaging wind gusts.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Craig. Still to come on Eyewitness News.